making individual praline sweet potatoes or acorn squash or winter squash, whatever squash you want today. And this is perfect. I think of these around Thanksgiving or Christmas, the holidays, but they're really perfect any time of year. Who doesn't like a sweet potato with a praline topping? I know, I love them. But some people don't eat sweet potatoes, but they like winter squashes. And so today I'm going to use an acorn squash as well as these cute little purple sweet potatoes. So the first thing I'm going to do is make the inside of the squash and the sweet potatoes. So I roasted them yesterday at 375 for 45 minutes. I just washed them, pricked holes in them, cut the acorn squash in half, removed the seeds, put it cut side down, stuck this in the oven for 45 minutes. And so you can see it's kind of squishy, and then I stuck them in the refrigerator. Today, I'll do the acorn squash first. I have a bowl and a potato masher. You could use a fork or something if you want. I'm going to use the acorn squash first. I just have a spoon here. I'm going to scoop out a shell to leave this like a little cute little bowl. So I don't want to scrape too much. Putting it in here. So some people like really sweet potatoes. They put sugar and cinnamon and things like that. This recipe is not going to do that. So I don't know if you can see how thin I scooped it all out. I'm going to get the other half. So this one is just going to be a little bit of salt and pepper with a little bit of milk. So it's going to be more of a savory. Now, if you want sweeter, you could add something sweeter. But we try not to eat much sugar. Here, sugar is not really good for you. So our praline topping is not even going to be made with sugar. It's going to be made with dates. As a matter of fact, this is going to be 4 ingredients. 4 ingredients for the acorn squash, 4 ingredients for the sweet potatoes. How crazy is that? Okay, so here's my other shell. I just realized I forgot my milk. Let me grab it really quick. Okay, I like West soy and Eden soy, organic, unsweetened. Make sure it says unsweetened. The ingredients are water and organic soybeans. The organic Eden soy is organic soybeans and distilled water. And so you know you're getting a really clean product, no gums or fillers when you use a product like that. You can use oat milk. You can make your own milk, whatever you prefer. So this, you can see, is already really mashed up, squishy. I don't need to do much. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put a little dash of salt in each shell, just a little dash. A little bit of pepper, and just a splash of milk. If it was kind of hard, then I would add a little more milk, but this looks like it's already pretty soft, like I don't need to add much milk. So I'm just making like mashed potatoes, but it's with acorn squash. This is just for the people who don't like sweet potatoes or prefer not to eat them. Some people are sensitive to sweet potatoes. There we go. Now I'm going to pick up my acorn squash and my spoon and fill it back in. Remember, it had a hole in it, and so it's not going to fill it completely, but we want it to look nice and neat. So there we go. Get my next one. I had a hole where the seeds were. And I could have saved the seeds and soaked them overnight and roasted them today. That would have been a great idea. Who does not love pumpkin seeds? Could have roasted up some pumpkin seeds with some cumin, chili pepper, and garlic and onion. That would be delicious. Alright. I might need to steal some off of this one. I think I might have put too much in there. There we go. There we go. Set that down. And now I need to do the sweet potatoes. So I have a clean bowl and a clean potato mash. Just wipe off my hands. If somebody were allergic, then I would go and wash everything. So I'm going to cut the sweet potato in half. They are a lot firmer. So these are purple sweet potatoes with a yellow center. We grow these on our farm. This is a melon baller. I could just use a spoon. I'm just going to scoop out the inside and being careful not to go all the way through the potato. These are so cute and little. These would be perfect for tailgating. Little finger food here. Scrape it. It's kind of hard not to slip and go through the skin. There we go. There we go. So I'm left with just a little shell. And afterwards I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt in there. Just a little. We try not to use much salt either. Once you start eating foods without sugar, you are shocked at how sweet some things are. I have a 15-year-old, and she can't believe how sweet things are. Sometimes she can't even eat things anymore because they're just too sweet. Our taste buds are trained. It's amazing what some packaged foods do to our taste buds. Okay. Cut the next one in half. Maybe not in my hand. That might not be smart. So sweet potatoes are full of beta-carotene, a precursor to vitamin A. A lot of people are deficient in vitamin A. So anytime you can eat something that's yellow or red or orange, those are so good for you. Very high in fiber. And the same with the acorn squash. High in fiber and beta-carotene. There we go. We're going to be adding dates and pecans. And so dates are very high in fiber and vitamins and minerals, lots of minerals. They are a fruit. They are a dried fruit, so if you do have issues with insulin resistance or blood glucose spiking, you may not want to use dates. You can test and see how they do for you. Next. These are just so cute. Pecans or walnuts, either one of those would be great. Some healthy fats in your nuts and fibers and minerals. And then your non-dairy milk. If you can find some that is organic or make your own without gums and fillers, then you have something that is very anti-inflammatory. They're so small, it's hard to scrape without going through the skin. There we go. These are going to take a little bit more milk than the squashes did. Has like a little tail. Looks like it should be from a Dr. Seuss. So Dr. Seuss food. Getting some on my hands. Okay, now I am ready to mash them. I've got the potatoes all scooped out. These are a lot firmer than the acorn squash, so I'm going to line these up and just sprinkle a little bit of salt on the insides. Just a little bit. Add a little bit to the inside. Some ground black pepper. and a little bit of milk. I'm sorry that I don't have measurements for you. I'm just going to splash it just to get it wet. I may need to add some more, but I just want to be able to mash it. So this is pretty firm. I don't know if you can see around my pecans here. It's pretty firm. I'm having to put a lot of pressure on there. And I want them to be kind of creamy. So I'm going to add a little bit more. If you have a good vegan butter that you like, you could add a good vegan butter. Some people add a little bit of coconut oil just to give it that mouth feel, or coconut milk. I don't want it to have that coconut flavor, but that's not that bad for a sweet potato to have a little bit of a coconut flavor. It would definitely give you that creamy mouthfeel. Alright, see how that looks. Not quite what I'm going for yet. See if you can see, it's pretty chunky, like a chunky mashed potato. I want it to be really smooth. It's really up to it's your preference how you want it. But I just feel like these should be really smooth. I like chunky mashed potatoes, but I want my sweet potatoes to be smooth. Oop, I flipped it on myself. Alright, I'm going to take a little taste, see if it needs any seasoning. I'm actually going to go ask a family member to taste it and see what they think. I'll be right back. Okay, the verdict is in a little bit more salt. Just a touch of salt. There we go. And now I need to fill the potatoes. Move my pecans out of the way. We will definitely eat the skins of these sweet potatoes. These were grown organically on our farm. That purple color means they are full of anthocyanins, wonderful for your heart and for repairing DNA damage, which it means it's an anti-cancer. Okay, so when I scooped out the acorn squash, remember I had removed the seeds, there is a hole, so I couldn't fill them all the way up. But with the sweet potatoes, I end up with more than what will fit back in there. So I'm going to mound some of them a little bit, maybe pack some of them in a little bit tighter. Alright. Dates here, just regular store-bought dates with a cup of boiling water. They've been sitting there for maybe 20 to 30 minutes to soften the dates. I'm going to strain them, not really. And some people add water when they're making date paste. So you can see I'm not really straining them. I don't even have a slotted spoon here. But I'm scooping them out of the water because I can always add more water if I need to. And I'm just putting the dates here into my food processor. Sometimes I'll put them in a Vitamix, but if it's not enough, the blades won't hit all of them to chop it enough. So I'm just going to turn this on. I'm going to pulse it a few times first and then turn it on. Straight down the sides. Now, traditional praline potatoes have a lot of brown sugar, and I didn't want to use brown sugar. I wanted to use a whole fruit. We try to eat as whole food, plant-based as we can. Not perfect, of course, because this is Thanksgiving. We are going to be having a pecan pie, and I did put some sugar. Did I? I'm trying to remember what I put. Oh, I put maple syrup. So maple syrup is a cooked syrup from the trees, so I guess that could count. I could have put some maple syrup in here, I suppose. Okay, so I ground that up. I don't know if you can see what it looks like. Now I'm going to add a cup of pecans. I knocked some of it out. Add a cup of pecans, and I don't want to grind them to a pecan butter, though that would be absolutely delicious. I do want some crumble on top here, and so I'm going to add a cup of pecans. Move all of this out of the way. And that actually looks fabulous. I think I'm going to do one more, and then I'll show you what it looks like. I want to eat it now. That's what it looks like. I'm going to put this right on top. Now, because I don't know if some people like cinnamon and some people don't like cinnamon, I'm going to do half with cinnamon and half without. So I'm going to do half without cinnamon. Then I'm going to add a teaspoon of cinnamon and do the other half with cinnamon. Add cinnamon to what's remaining to do the remainder. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There, that'll be half and half. You know what? I can just sprinkle the cinnamon on top. That'll make it even easier. Here's my spoon. Spread my praline mix on top. Now, if you find your date paste is a little too dry, you can add some of the soaking water from your dates. That's why I left them in the water there like that. I'm going to be kind of skimpy at first and see how far my filling goes. I may have to make more filling. I'm going to be a little skimpy because I can always come back and add more. Just going to crumble it like you do a little crumble on top. Oh, it looks so yummy. Now with Thanksgiving, this might be a really big side, so you may want to cut that in half or maybe even into thirds. I could have done that and just made little pieces, but I didn't. Alright, now I'm just going to fluff them all up, add a little bit more to all of them. Any that look a little too skimpy, they need some more. And there are, for people who are vegan, there are vegan marshmallows. I think Dandy is the brand. And sometimes I have those. My daughter likes those. They are not healthy, but they are vegan for those of you who need that. And I've seen them in I think I've seen them in Kroger. I know I've bought them on Amazon. And maybe Whole Foods. So you could put a couple of marshmallows on top if you like marshmallows with your sweet potatoes. Okay. So here are our individual praline sweet potatoes and winter squash. I'm going to put these in the oven at 350 for 30 minutes. Oh, I forgot I was going to sprinkle some cinnamon on some of them. I'm going to get just a half a teaspoon of cinnamon here to divide among them. Just want a sprinkle of taste, just for those who like cinnamon on them. If you know everybody does, put it on all of them. If you know everybody doesn't, just leave it out. There we go. So how many ingredients? Acorn squash, soy milk, pecans, and dates. With salt, if you want to count salt. Sweet potatoes, soy milk, salt and pepper, pecans, and dates. There we go. Here is our dinner. I'm going to put this in the oven at 350, and then I will post a picture for you. Like and share my videos. Comment below. Let me know if you make these. I cannot wait to eat them. Enjoy!